Have you ever scrolled through Instagram or TikTok and felt a twinge of jealousy at the flawless lives some celebrities had? Maybe you've caught yourself thinking, their lives are perfect. Why can't mine be just like that? If you have, you are not alone. Many teenagers quietly compare themselves to the people they see online, especially today in a socially integrated world. However, this innovation can have both positive and negative effects on our mental well being. I want to expose these illusions and share an effective way to protect your mind in the digital era. Social media is an important part of our everyday lives. It brings us joy, distraction, and a sense of connection. But behind those bright screens and endless content, there's something we rarely talk about. Social media is shaping us, quietly and constantly, in ways we don't always recognize. Recently, I found myself scrolling through reels that are funny but convincing. The humor some influencers use to grab the user's attention is soon turned into an advertisement, promoting various products like Gymshark Athleisure, TurboLearn AI, RainBet, and various skin and hair products. Our minds are like sponges, soaking up information with every swipe. When something looks real, our brains often accept it as a fact, even when it's not. Think about your favorite celebrity or influencer, the ones whose stories you never miss. You might you might know them. You might feel like they're authentic. Now imagine that person shares a beauty hack, a piece of advice, or a lifestyle tip that isn't quite accurate. Maybe it's exaggerated. Maybe it isn't backed by any real research. Maybe it's just there to keep the audience engaged. Now, because you already admire them, you're more likely to accept what they say without thinking twice. Not because you're gullible, but because you are human. Meanwhile, the images we see online, perfect bodies, perfect relationships, perfect homes, are usually heavily filtered, edited, or even created artificially. Yet we compare ourselves to these impossible. Not too long ago, me and my friends were hanging out, and we were all going phones. This was a typical tradition many teenagers take part in during many social gatherings. But during this, I noticed a commonality. Almost all of our videos appeal to the feeling of self-worth. They all share the same message of trying to make one feel a great desire or longing for a phenomenon. It can be expressed through videos depicting fancy homes, cars, couples, or even trendy clothes. And they meant something beyond just the object they were depicting. And they also created different emotional responses depending on the person watching. Because me and my friends lacked some, if not all, of the elements depicted in the videos, we felt jealousy, yearning, and compulsion. The real reason we felt these emotions was because we wanted to live a perfect life, fulfilled with all the things we could ever imagine. This creates a distorted perfect life narrative, and for teenagers, the pressure to live up to it can be crushing. This often leads to low self-esteem, depression, and even anxiety. So, here's the big question. How does the false perception of a perfect life on social media actually affect teenagers? My honest answer, by much more than we actually realize. We're not just consuming content, we're learning from it. Social media shows us what we enjoy, but right alongside those posts, it sneaks in content that's misleading or outright false. Because it matches our interests, it feels trustworthy. When you see the same message over and over and over and over again, even if it's not true, your brain starts to accept it as a fact. This is how misinformation spreads. For teenagers whose personalities are still forming, this can be especially dangerous. So, what can we do? Awareness matters, but awareness alone is not enough. We need to take the initiative. Here are 3 steps you can start with. Number 1, limit mindless scrolling. Set boundaries on your screen time. to prevent being manipulated. Number 2, trust your own judgment. Don't let an algorithm decide who you are, what you believe, or who you become. And number 3, always double check what you see. Conduct your own research. And if something seems questionable, always fact check it. As I leave here today, I want to challenge you. Take back control of your digital life. Social media is not going anywhere, but how we engage with it, how much we let it shape us, can change. Be skeptical when something appears too perfect. Above all, think back to your backstory and the amazing characteristics you all have. Because when you look beyond the filters and edits, you began to see your self-worth. And you move through the world with clarity and not comparison. And that shift, that moment of awareness, can change everything. Thank you.